Some people fall asleep the moment their head touches the pillow. Their mind turns off like a light switch. No replaying conversations, no mental debates, no invisible courtroom where every word spoken earlier is examined like evidence. Just silence. Peaceful silence. Must be nice. Meanwhile, somewhere else, another mind is staring at the ceiling at 2:47 a.m. Not because something terrible happened, not because of a crisis, but because of something extremely small, a sentence. Just one sentence spoken earlier that day. Not the whole conversation, just one small moment. Because maybe, just maybe, the tone sounded strange. And suddenly, the brain begins its favorite activity, interrogation. Why did I say that? Did they notice something odd? Did I sound arrogant? Did they misunderstand me? And just like that, a 5-second interaction becomes a 40-minute investigation. Welcome to the strange world of overthinking.
Society admires intelligence. Think deeply. Analyze everything. Use your mind. It sounds impressive, but there is a small detail nobody talks about. Thinking deeply also means seeing deeply, noticing details others ignore, detecting emotional signals hidden inside ordinary conversations, observing pauses most people never register. Once your brain learns to see patterns, it starts seeing them everywhere, even when they don't exist. Which is slightly ironic, because the same intelligence that allows someone to solve complex problems can also turn a simple conversation into a psychological mystery.
If you have ever replayed a conversation hours after it ended, your brain is doing something fascinating. It is reconstructing the moment, rebuilding expressions, replaying tone, trying to simulate what the other person might have felt. Your mind becomes a mirror, reflecting emotions, reflecting interpretations, reflecting possibilities. Psychologists associate this ability with mirror neurons. They allow us to imagine another person's experience, to mentally step into someone else's perspective. It is the foundation of empathy. But when this mechanism becomes too active, empathy slowly transforms into analysis, and analysis, repeated endlessly, becomes overthinking. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche believed that modern humans suffer from something unusual, an excess of consciousness, too much awareness, too much reflection, too much thinking about thinking. Imagine watching a movie, but pausing every few seconds to analyze every detail, the lighting, the symbolism, the meaning of every scene. Eventually, the story disappears. All that remains is analysis. This is exactly what happens inside the overthinking mind. Life continues moving forward, while the mind remains trapped, replaying moments that already ended. Most people experience moments. Overthinkers study them. Most people hear words. Overthinkers analyze tone. Most people move forward. Overthinkers rewind the moment, again and again and again.
The same intelligence that allows someone to understand the world deeply also makes it harder to simply exist inside it. That is the paradox. The sharper the mind becomes, the louder its questions become. Inside an overthinking mind, thoughts behave like actors on a stage. Each interpretation enters dramatically. What if they were offended? Another thought interrupts. What if they were impressed? Another appears. What if they think you're strange? Soon, the stage becomes crowded. Too many actors, too many interpretations, too many unfinished scenes. And the brain refuses to close the curtain. At this point, the brain becomes a detective, a very dedicated detective, investigating a crime that never happened, examining imaginary evidence, reconstructing tone, analyzing facial expressions, replaying conversations. 30 minutes later, the investigation ends with a brilliant conclusion. Maybe I should have said that differently. Congratulations. The brain solved absolutely nothing, but managed to lose 30 minutes of sleep.
Here is the strange contradiction. The same mind that creates overthinking also creates brilliance, the ability to imagine possibilities, the ability to simulate outcomes, the ability to question assumptions. These abilities create philosophers, scientists, inventors, strategists. But when those abilities turn inward, they create mental loops, thoughts repeating themselves endlessly, echoing inside the mind.
Overthinking often creates a strange superstition. The brain begins believing that analyzing something long enough will reveal certainty. If I think about this enough, I will understand it. If I analyze every detail, I will avoid mistakes. But human interactions rarely behave like equations. People are unpredictable. Motives remain unclear, and sometimes a pause in conversation is simply a pause, not a hidden message, not a secret judgment, just silence. But the overthinking mind struggles to accept randomness. It wants meaning, structure, hidden explanations, even when none exist. Nietzsche believed that strength does not come from thinking endlessly. It comes from mastering thought. A powerful mind is not the one that analyzes every idea. It is the one that knows when a thought is not worth attention. Because intelligence without control becomes noise. But intelligence guided by awareness becomes wisdom. And wisdom does something intelligence often forgets. It rests. So if your mind sometimes refuses to become quiet, if conversations replay in your head long after everyone else moved on, if your thoughts sometimes feel like a crowded debate club, there may be nothing wrong with you. You might simply have a mind that sees too many possibilities. And the real challenge is not learning how to think. It is learning when to stop.